Basically, Vanloo went overseas to play in a Euro tournament for Belgium, right? And basically ended up winning. Ended up winning with Emma. And instead of celebrating and being with her fans and family, she tried to hurry up and rush back to the Valkyries. So she got right on the flight, skipped the celebration, and mid-air, not even landing just yet, heard the news that she was waived from the Valkyries, man.
Literally just touched down in the Bay. I need some time to process all of this. That was Belgian basketball star Julie Vanloo's Instagram post moments after landing in San Francisco, fresh off leading Belgium to a historic Eurobasket championship.
About this, in what is the most ruthless move a WNBA team has made this year. In what is the single most ruthless move a team has made. What the Valkyries did with Julie Vanloo is mental. It is absolutely mental.
She'd skipped her team's victory parade, rushed onto an 18-hour flight, and dreamed of contributing to her WNBA team, the Golden State Valkyries. Instead, she discovered via social media she'd been cut. No call, no warning. Just a cold transaction notification while she stood in baggage claim. This isn't just roster shuffling. This is a human disaster. It reveals everything broken about the WNBA's leadership.
Tough business. Man, some nasty work there. And I get it. It's a business. You have to do what you have to do. But fam, you couldn't even allow her to get back to the facility. You couldn't even allow her to touch down in the Bay before you let her go. My goodness, fam. I mean, have a heart. Where's the 5 heartbeats when you need them, man? Oh my goodness.
If you think leagues grow by treating athletes like disposable trash, stick around. What happened next will shock you. Before we dive into the scandal, smash that like button if you believe players deserve basic respect. It tells YouTube the story matters.
Like, they waived her while she was on a plane. Not only that, her team, like Belgium, the Belgian national team had a whole bunch of celebrations. They had a whole bunch of celebrations for winning Eurobasket. So she won an international competition with Belgium, which is bigger than any WNBA championship. For them, anyway. For her, it's bigger than winning a WNBA championship. She won. And not only that, they won it in a historic comeback. Spain were up 12 points with 3 minutes to go.
Vanloo wasn't just on Belgium's Eurobasket team. She was its engine, averaging 9.8 points. 5.3 assists and 4 rebounds. She powered a stunning comeback against Spain, down 12 points with 3 minutes left, to clinch the title and a 2026 World Cup berth. Her reward? All tournament second-team honors. Then came the gut-wrenching choice. Party popper option A, celebrate with her nation. Parade ceremonies once-in-a-lifetime joy. Airplane option B, fly straight back to Valkyries to support her WNBA squad. She chose loyalty.
Celebration in a parade, and Julie posted on her story the video they played of her because she couldn't be there because she was flying back to the States, and she said, "I love you, Belgium. I wish I was there." She posts that she made it to the States, back in Fog City, a heart around the arena. And then the next post is that she's been cut from the team. Literally just touched down in the Bay, need some time to process all of this and put my feelings into words. I can't right now with some heartbreaking emojis. So why would they do this? Business is business. I'm not really talking about cutting her. The decision they made is the decision they made. They feel like they can move forward without her on the team, but why let her come all the way back to the States before letting her know? And the answer appears to be, from what I've seen from a couple different people online, that if the Valkyries had cut her when she was in Europe, she would have lost her work visa and not been able to make it back to the States. But when they cut her when she's stateside, she has a bubble of time to still have that work visa and hopefully be picked up by another team. And while that technically makes sense, it's very obvious from these stories that she wasn't told that before she got here. You think,
I love you, Belgium. She posted wistfully from the airport. I wish I was there. Meanwhile, the Valkyries went 5-2 in her absence. Rookie Caitlin Chin sees her minutes. The front office saw a cheaper, younger option. And Vanloo, she was flying into a trap. The coldest cut in sports history. Here's where Valkyrie's actions turned unforgivable. Timing. They waived Vanloo mid-flight. She couldn't even reroute to Belgium. Communication. She learned via Instagram. Not her agent, coach, or GM.
The way Julie Vanloo was done, she literally left Euroball immediately after her win and got on a plane back to the Bay Area and was talking about her travel plans on her Instagram story. And literally had just touched down in the Bay when they posted about her being waived. And so I'm curious to get an understanding as to how someone is literally flying from Europe back to America, and you tell them that they're being waived when they get here. I understand that this was bound to happen based off of players going, coming, so on and so forth, but I think the way we're going about it is not very humanly. And maybe these players understand just based off of how the WNBA is, but it's just very interesting that the Valkyries are going at it about this way.
The visa excuse. Teams claim cutting her before landing would have avoided her work visa. But if true, why not warn her? Teammates erupted. Emma Meesman, Belgium star, 2019 WNBA Finals MVP, blasted. Making her miss a unique moment in Belgium is crazy. Analyst Danny Barlavo fumed. Unacceptable, she should have been home. Even rivals noticed. Fans flooded social media. This is why the WNBA struggles to keep stars.
Until you get off that plane, you have not technically entered the country. You have not technically entered the country until you set foot off that plane. Until you get through immigration. So if it's a visa thing, if it was like, oh, you know, her visa's been cancelled, I don't think there's pre-clearance wherever she was coming from. She had to go through immigration anyway. So the reality is, she probably lost the visa anyway. If she was going to lose the visa, if they had to cut her before she left, they cut her before she got into the country. So, like, it makes no difference then.
But here's where things get complicated. The Valkyries did have roster pressure. Locked with key 12-player limits versus NBA's 15 forced ruthless choices. Chart-increasing Caitlin Chin's rise made Vanloo expendable, youth versus experience. Yet this wasn't just business, it was horrendous optics.
Oh, Vanloo got cut? As soon as she stepped off the plane, bro. For real? Shut up. It's like when stuff like this happen, bro, it really sink in, like, bro, this really a business though at the end of the day. Like, you feel me? Like, this really a business. Like, and you gotta treat it as such, bro. Like, you can't really, you gotta get out your feelings, bro.
That's why it's hard to get comfortable anywhere though.
Nah, that's
you don't
facts.
know. You don't never know.
You literally, and you always gotta stay on your P's and Q's, cause at the end of the day, like, you got a job just like somebody else got a job, just like somebody else got a job.
The WNBA is riding the Caitlin Clark effect. Record viewership, $2.2 billion media deals, soaring franchise values. But Clark's magic can't hide systemic rot. When Clark plays, viewership averages 1.81 M. When she doesn't, it plummets 53% to 847K. The league depends on international talent, 30% of players. Vanloo's treatment signals, you're just a number.
Okay, so Eurobasket, or the European Basketball Championship, is a big deal. It is whoever wins immediately qualifies for the 2026 World Cup next year. And the Golden State Valkyries particularly had a lot of players take a break from playing in the W to go play in that European Championship, including Julie Vanloo, who plays for Belgium. This is part of their contract, very normal. Julie Vanloo goes to Europe, and Belgium casually wins the whole tournament. Meanwhile, stateside, the Golden State Valkyries, without Julie Vanloo, are having a very successful period of games.
Commissioner Engelbert's deafening silence, the $3 million ghost. Where was the architect of the WNBA's new era? While Julie Vanloo wept in San Francisco International Airport, where was the woman who calls herself a champion of women's empowerment when European MVP got publicly executed by algorithm? Kathy Engelbert wasn't in front of cameras, wasn't drafting league statements, wasn't even trending on Twitter. The highest paid commissioner in women's sports history, $3 million per year, vanished like a halftime show crowd during a 40-point blowout. Her silence wasn't just absence, it was a statement louder than any press release. Abacus the paradox of progress, success versus soul. Engelbert's resume sparkles with corporate trophies. Moneybag revenue doubled from $60 million to $120 million under her watch. Chart increasing secured $75 million from Nike/Deloitte investors. Cityscape expansion teams in San Francisco, Toronto, Philadelphia. But peel back the glitter. Face without mouth players call her the accountant, obsessed with spreadsheets, allergic to locker rooms. Chart increasing viewership crashes 53% when Caitlin Clark sits 1.81M 847K. Fire 2024 Player Survey. 89% feel league prioritizes optics over well-being. Her greatest failure? Treating humans like quarterly KPIs. When racist threats targeted players last season, Engelbert's response took 11 days and sounded like a corporate memo. We're enhancing digital monitoring solutions. Hourglass not done crisis playbook. Delay, downplay, disappear. The Vanloo debacle followed Engelbert's signature three-step crisis strategy. 1. The Vanishing Act. 0 public statements for 72 critical hours. No league investigation announced. Skip pre-scheduled ESPN interview. 2. The Corporate Shield. League spokesperson called it Team Personnel Matter. Reference obscure roster compliance deadlines. Praise Valkyrie's strategic vision. 3. The Distraction. 48 hours later, announced new Las Vegas All-Star Game. Release Clark jersey sales records, 500% increase. Trademark WNBA Changemakers slogan. This isn't leadership, it's bureaucratic jiu-jitsu. Turning human tragedy into spreadsheet footnotes. Globe showing Europe-Africa the international betrayal. Europe's red alert. While Engelbert hid, shockwaves crossed oceans. Belgian Basketball Federation's midnight statement. We sacrificed our champion celebration for nothing. This disrespect ensures no Belgian star will risk WNBA dreams again. France's sports minister tweeted, American leagues preach equality, then treat our athletes like disposable razors. Hashtag protect our players. Impact? Devastating. 7 EuroLeague stars pause WNBA negotiations. Agents now demand humane exit clauses in contracts. Nike's Belgium division halted Valkyrie's merchandise orders. Engelbert's silence didn't just wound Vanloo, it torched international bridges built over 20 years. Scroll players versus profits. As Engelbert avoided cameras, WNBA Players Association President Nneka Ogwumike made history. Today we serve formal notice. The Vanloo violation proves this league runs on broken promises. Our new CBA demands will reflect that. The ticking demands. Shield dignity clauses. 72-hour notice before cuts plus mental health support. Airplane Vanloo rule. No cuts during international duty plus celebration protection. Money with Wings revenue sharing. 50% of TV deals for players, currently 20%. Engelbert's silence became the union's strongest bargaining chip. Every hour she stayed hidden added millions to player demands. Magnifying glass still to left the double standard. Clark versus the world. Imagine if this happened to Caitlin Clark. Mid-flight cut after winning NCAA title. Finds out via Twitter. Commissioners silent for days. There be congressional hearings. ESPN town halls. White House statements. But for Vanloo, for international role players, Engelbert's silence screamed the quiet part. Some athletes matter more. This hypocrisy stains the league's equality branding. Players see it. Fans see it. Sponsors are starting to see it. Light bulb the path forward, accountability, or apocalypse. 3 ways Engelbert can salvage this disaster. 1. The apology tour. Personal meeting with Vanloo plus public press conference. Admit league failure in player protection protocols. Fund Vanloo's Belgian victory parade. 2. The Vanloo Accord. Immediate rule, no cut 72 hours before / after international tournaments. Mandatory exit interviews with league mediators. $250,000 mental health fund for wave players. 3. The leadership reckoning. Fire Valkyrie's GM publicly for humane standards violation. Resign from Deloitte board to focus 100% on WNBA. Appoint players to league discipline committee. Without these, the Caitlin Clark bubble will pop. The league will revert to pre-2024 relevance, and history will remember Engelbert as the commissioner who traded soul for spreadsheets. Direct hit why the silence screams volumes. Engelbert's vanishing act reveals uncomfortable truths. She's a corporate fixer, not a basketball visionary. The league's growth is built on Clark's shoulders, not sound management. Players remain assets, not partners. Until she faces this fire, every roster cut will feel like betrayal. Every draft pick will question their worth. And the world will wonder, if the W won't protect its warriors, why should we watch? The fallout, boycotts, CBA wars, and a league at risk, the perfect storm. Vanloo is catalyst. Julie Vanloo's mid-air termination wasn't just a roster move. It was a spark igniting decades of pent-up frustration in women's sports. Her story crystallized every systemic failure: exploitative labor practices, hypocritical branding, and leadership that prioritizes profit margins over human dignity. As she stood in San Francisco International Airport, still clutching her Belgian championship medal, jet-lagged and publicly humiliated, she became the physical embodiment of a broken system. The league's silence screamed louder than any press release. "You are expendable." This moment collided with three tectonic shifts in the WNBA. CBA renegotiations hanging by a thread. Unprecedented financial growth driven by Caitlin Clark. Globalization of women's basketball talent. The result? A pressure cooker threatening to blow the league apart. Money with wings CBA negotiations. The $2.2 billion war. Magnifying glass still to the left of stakes. Players aren't just fighting for raises. They're demanding a complete economic overhaul. The current CBA pays them just 9% of league revenue, while owners pocket expansion fees worth $250 million. With a $2.2 billion media deal launching in 2026, the union sees this as a once-in-a-generation chance to rewrite the rules. Bomb Vanloo as Exhibit A. During closed-door negotiations, Union President Nneka Agwamike reportedly slammed her fist on the table. Julie's treatment is a whole damn problem in one story. Her case became the centerpiece for three radical demands. The Vanloo rule, 72-hour notice before cuts plus mental health support during transitions. International protection clause, no roster moves during overseas tournaments. Equity-based salaries, 50% revenue share tied to league profitability. Skull and crossbones, owner's nuclear response. Team executives privately call these demands financial suicide. One anonymous GM leaked the league's counterproposal. A mere 15% revenue share phase in over 7 years. Roster spots cut from 12 to 11 to offset salary increases. Prioritization rules tightened, forcing players to skip overseas seasons. Union Rep Satu Sabali blasted it as a slap in the face disguised as compromise. Hourglass not done, the doomsday clock. With the CBA expiring October 31st, 2025, players have drawn a line in the sand. No deal by All-Star Weekend equals strike vote. Secret player council meetings now happen in hotel basements after games. Fever guard Sidney Colson told teammates, "Pack your sneakers. We might be walking out mid-season." Globe showing Europe-Africa International backlash. Europe's revenge. Police scarlight the Belgian ultimatum. Belgium's Basketball Federation took unprecedented action after Vanloo's humiliation. Banned WNBA scouts from all domestic games. Froze player transfers to Golden State Valkyries. Launched Project Respect, a rival EuroLeague initiative with 20% higher salaries. Emma Meesman, Vanloo's national teammate, became the face of the revolt. Why cross an ocean to be treated like cattle? Our leagues now offer better pay, better security, and basic human respect, decreasing the domino effect. France's Marine Johannes, Liberty Guard, terminated her WNBA opt-in clause. Australia's Easy Eye Magbeggar demanded contract guarantees before returning to Seattle. China's WCBA league doubled import salaries overnight. Scouts estimate 70% of EuroLeague stars will skip the 2026 WNBA season. The Valkyries GM was caught on hot mic ranting. "We just lost a decade of international recruiting over one damn cut." Luggage the visa trap. Vanloo's case exposed the WNBA's exploitation of work visas. Teams routinely lure overseas players with promises of U.S. exposure, force them to pay visa fees up front, $5,000+, provide zero relocation assistance. When cut, players have 10 days to leave the country or face deportation. No other major sports league operates with such brutality. Busts and Silhouette fan revolt. Hashtag boycott Valkyries goes global. Mobile phone digital mutiny. Within 72 hours of Vanloo's Instagram post. 538,000 plus tweets with hashtag boycott Valkyries. Valkyries follower count dropped by 112,000. Change.org petition demanding Engelbert's resignation hit 340,000 signatures. But this wasn't just keyboard activism. Fans organized with military precision. Ticket sabotage, mass returns of Valkyries home game tickets. Merch burnings, viral videos of jerseys set ablaze. Corporate pressure, 12,000 emails to Valkyries sponsor Oracle. Basketball, the Caitlin Clark contingent. Clark's record-shattering fandom became the revolt's secret weapon. Her Clarkies, mostly Gen Z women, deployed TikTok tactics that crushed the Valkyries. Operation Silent Arena, coordinated walkouts during Valkyries games. Ad revenue sabotage, using ad blockers exclusively on Valkyrie streams. Rival team boosting, buying Fever merch to prove where real value lies. One 19-year-old organizer nailed it. We built Caitlyn's empire. We can burn yours. Balance scale, the Caitlyn Clark paradox. Savior or prisoner. Money bag, the $1 billion dollar slave. Caitlyn Clark generates 26.5% of the WNBA's total economic activity, yet earns just 0.008% of her value. The math is criminal. Metric Clarks value her salary. Franchise valuation boost plus $273% for Fever $78,066. Merchandise sales 500% league, increase 0% commission. TV ratings premium 53% higher with her $0 bonus. Economists estimate she'll generate $1 billion in 2025 alone. Yet, under the CBA, she can't earn over $250,000 until 2028. Adhesive bandage the target on her back. Clark's treatment exposes the league's hypocrisy. No security, hotel stalked, airports mobbed, death threats ignored for, brutal fouls. Welcome to the W. Tackles celebrated as toughness. Silent commissioner. Engelbert called Clark injuries growing pains. When Clark missed games with quad injury, viewership crashed 40% on NBA TV. Ticket resale values dropped 70%. League quietly canceled 3 national broadcasts, yet they still won't pay her. Police scarlight Engelbert's gamble, expansion versus explosion. Cityscape the distraction play. As hashtag boycott Valkyries trended, Engelbert staged a splashy expansion announcement. Cleveland, 2028. Detroit, 2029. Philadelphia, 2030. Her strategy? Drown labor fury in growth hype. Players saw through it immediately. Mercury star Diana Taurasi tweeted, "New cities won't fix broken systems. Pay the women who built this." Money with Wings, the financial house of cards. Expansion fees reveal the league's desperation. Team fee paid valuation. Golden State $50 million, $500 million. Portland $35 million, $390 million. Toronto $33 million, $380 million. Owners pocketed 90% of fees as profit while pleading poverty in CBA talks. The math enraged players. They're scalping our labor to fund their vanity projects. Storm Brianna Stewart. The point of no return. Coffin scorched earth scenarios. If Engelbert fails to act by August 1st, experts predict star exodus. Clark Reese brink to skip 2026 season for overseas sabbaticals. Sponsor collapse. Nike's $500 million deal has morality clause for reputational harm. Legal avalanche. Antitrust lawsuits over CBA's indentured servitude clauses. Raise fist the players' last stand. A secret player coalition drafted the Respect Manifesto, a plan to launch a player-owned streaming network, form global partnerships with EuroLeague/Asian leagues, create emergency funds for cut players. Storm guard Jewel Lloyd warned, "We're not begging for scraps anymore. We'll build our own damn table." Sunrise the crossroads. The WNBA now faces an existential choice. Path A, double down on corporate greed. Lose stars/fans. Fade into irrelevance. Path B, adopt the Vanloo Accord. Share power, become a $10 billion global empire. Vanloo herself delivered the verdict from Belgium. Women's basketball will rise, with or without the WNBA. Julie Vanloo embodied everything the WNBA claims to want. Passion, white heavy checkmark. International appeal, white heavy checkmark. Sacrifice for the team, white heavy checkmark. The Valkyries rewarded her with a social media pink slip and Engelbert's complicit silence. This league faces a choice. Path A, keep chasing growth while burning player trust. Path B, mandate dignity in operations, roster transparency, mental health support, humane transitions. One path leads to lasting relevance. The other? Back to obscurity. No matter how many Caitlyn Clarks you have, this story isn't over. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're tracking Vanloo's next move and the Valkyries' collapse. Drop a comment. Should Engelbert resign? Backhand index pointing down.